Clara floated downstairs to the film archive a new person. Older, more sophisticated. It was the same way she felt on her birthday, like something had invisibly changed, as though she'd been reinvented. Apprentice editor. "Well done, Clara." Lloyd, the other vault runner, pumped her hand, his mop of strawberry blonde hair grazing his eyelashes in a way that made Clara blink and sweep her own hair away from her face. "Thanks," she said. His surprise at her promotion made her feel a tinge of regret. She hadn't told him she was applying for the job. And truthfully, Lloyd was no competition. He had little interest in film editing. His sights were set on casting or publicity. He reminded her of a golden retriever, too exuberant, sometimes annoying, but generally harmless. Not even Miss Simpkin could dampen her mood. "Congratulations, Clara," she said, rearranging her mouth to form a tight smile. "I suppose we'll need to make the most of you while we still have you. There's no shortage of work to be done." Her eyes traveled to Clara's feet, and she noticed the peach pumps. "What are you wearing?" said Miss Simpkin. "Appropriate footwear, please." She marched back to her office, her bobbed hair as rigid as a helmet. From under her desk, Clara retrieved the regulation saddle shoes and contemplated the ugly lace-up flats. With a glance at Simpkin's office, she tossed the work shoes back out of sight. Today she would flaunt the rules. For the rest of the day, the colors of Silver Pacific Studios were sharper and brighter, and everyone she passed was smiling. Clara could have leapt into song like in an MGM musical. It was Thursday, which meant just one more day under Simpkin. One more day running reels of film back and forth from the cutting rooms to the vaults. And by Monday, everything would be different. The world had given her what she wanted, as smooth as oiled gears sliding her future into place. Well, almost everything. Clara chewed her lip and glanced at the clock. It was 9 p.m., and she was alone in the film archive waiting for Gil to call. To kill time, she had a stack of Argentan dailies to watch. She had helped herself to the moviola in Miss Simpkin's office. It was used to check prints for flaws or to identify unlabeled reels. Clara's plan was to be familiar with as much footage as possible before Monday. Apprentice editor. She rolled the syllables over her tongue. It was still a thrill. It was getting late for after-work drinks, but she wasn't about to let her triumphant day fizzle. She would give him another 20 minutes. How long could it take to fix a few script pages anyway? All that white space. It was hardly any words at all. The first time she'd met Gil, a rainstorm had drenched the Southland. The lot was deserted. Everyone else at the studio was indoors staying dry. Clara had taken shelter under the awning of the writer's block, pun intended, not minding that her shoes and the edge of her skirt were getting wet. As the rain hammered the asphalt, she craned her neck and tilted her cheek to feel the raindrops, unaware that she wasn't alone. "Watching the show?" When he spoke, she spun around like a skittish horse, and he apologized. She laughed at herself, then nodded to the rain. "I like the change. A reprieve from endless sun." "I like it too," he said, and stood next to her at the edge of the awning, hands in pockets. "Makes the city more honest somehow." A gust of wind took down a husk from a palm tree. He pulled up the collar on his suit jacket. A side glance, and Clara caught a flash of his dark hair, his jawline. Normally she would have resented small talk with a stranger at a moment like this, but she could tell he was sharp, and she liked his wry turn of phrase. They stood there together for a while, just, as Gil said, watching the show.